Hey YouTube, Mark from Ultimate RC here. I'm on location today. We've got the UMX Turbo Timber, but I have it set up with floats, and we're going to be flying over the Bay of Green Bay today. So, small plane on a big lake, but winds are light, and I got an easterly wind which is coming right into the shore, probably about 3-ish miles an hour. So it'll be great for takeoff and then landings. I'll just land crosswind. I've got the whole bay to land on, so it's not like landing at your local flying field. Nice day today. First flight of the year on the lake. We'll get this out here. Sure everything's good. Haven't flown this since last year, of course. Everything seems to be working on it pretty well. Alright. Taxiing is the biggest challenge with this. We may have to go under the dock here. All right, kept clear. Here we go. The funny thing about here is the swallows that we have around here love to chase this plane. I don't know what they think it is. Larger bird, predator, eagle, but I usually get a swarm chasing them by the time I'm done, especially in the evening.
Time remaining 4 minutes. Throttle cut. Throttle cut.
It's a really nice flyer. I've had this plane for a long time. It's a great plane to learn on. It's a nice float plane too. Control on the water is a little bit limited, so you got to kind of point it into the wind and take off.
Throttle cut.
I probably need to get some new batteries for this thing. Well, they don't really.
3 minutes.
It's supposed to be a complete charge on that, and I'm already getting
Throttle cut.
low cutoff.
Throttle cut. Throttle cut.
Whoa! Ah!
Safe mode.
Wow. That's not good. Let's go take a look at the damage. Been a long time since I've crashed this thing. Those pontoons make the plane heavier, so it's not nearly as nimble. This is probably not going to end well. Throttle cut off. Yeah. There you have it. UMX Turbo Timber versus Green Bay. The Bay of Green Bay, and the Bay of Green Bay wins. Nuts. All right. One of the joys of flying is fixing. Although this one, I thought about getting the newer one that was just released anyways, and now I may have more motivation to do that because this may be I'll have to, that's probably fixable. Alright, YouTube. Mark with Ultimate RC. Thanks for watching. Hey YouTube, so I've recovered the few parts from my crash, and I thought I'd take a quick assessment here of this, as I may try to fix this and see if I can get another flight in today. I am limited on my resources into what's in my flight tackle box, which the glue I have with me today is Gorilla Glue. I've used this stuff before, although I'm not sure if I've used them on an ultra micro, but I'm going to give it a shot. And so thought I would just check. I'm going to check my control surfaces and make sure everything's working and it's worth this. And so far that's a pretty good sign. I'm going to maybe have one aileron that's slightly out of adjustment. I could maybe futz with that a little bit, but I seem to have control here, so we'll my damage from that crash, bugs up here are crazy. We had bayflies hatch, and we literally have swarms of them up here. This happens from time to time, and there'll be clouds of them. They're in the trees, and it sounds like the trees are ready for takeoff. You can't hear them right now, but in the evening it's ridiculous. Anyways, just looking at this, pretty significant break, but pretty clean break. Well, I think if and you can see I've already done, this plane has been through a lot because it was one of the first planes I've gotten. I've broken the nose on this thing. I can't, probably at least 3-4 times, and this nose has been glued back on. In fact, some of this damage here, obviously I had this taped here already, so that was part of the reason why it broke like it did. But these planes are not very durable compared to the full-size ones, obviously, so that type of crash into the rocks is going to generally result in something like this. But I think I can glue that, so I'm going to make an attempt at this. I'm not going to videotape all that. I'm sure probably not a lot of interest in seeing that, but I'm going to see what I can do, glue this thing up, and see if I can get another flight on it. Mark with Ultimate RC. Stay tuned. Hey YouTube, so I'm just going to take some videos of this. Again, I'm going to be using my Gorilla Glue. This is a clear. I've had pretty good success with this stuff on larger planes. Again, never done it on one of these, so I haven't bothered to check to see if this is compatible. We're going to find out. But this plane has sustained so much damage. I'd actually thought about recently upgrading to the new one. Of course, that was just released recently. The new Turbo Timber Evolution UMX with the blue livery on it, which I really like. This one's pretty nice too. Where I think the new one would have helped me is, of course, if I remember right, that is 3S power. And when I pulled that maneuver off to try to avoid the tree with these pontoons, had I not had the pontoons on just the wheel, I wouldn't have had an issue avoiding that tree, banking hard, pulling, and probably not going into quite the dive that it went into, and being able to power out of that. But with this plane, of course, is just a 2S, and so I didn't have the throttle punch there to just do a quick bank away from the tree and not lose so much altitude like what I did and ultimately drop into the rocks. So I think the new one, I probably could have avoided that. So we'll see if I can get this one fixed. Actually want to get into larger planes up here. This is our family vacation property, and I do have, I've not flown yet, I finally put together, had it in the box forever it seemed, was I have the Twin Otter, and I want to get that up and flying. And I actually like to get into larger float planes because this plane is limited to pretty light conditions. Wind on the bay here can pick up awful quickly without warning, and then a plane like this sometimes can be compromised pretty quickly to be able to fly against the wind, or so on and so forth. But so far this is going together fairly good. I don't think this is going to be perfect. That one piece there just doesn't look like it wants to fit very well, but this is going together a lot better than I thought it might. I may reinforce that brake with a little tape like I did over here from a previous crash. Oh, we've got maybe a little breakage there. My concern actually is going to be these floats. I don't know how well they're going to hold up to just being glued on. And I hesitate to put a bunch of tape on it because, again, weight-wise, there's one of those damn bay flies. Come on, out of there before you're glued to my plane. Go away. The dangers of doing this on location, I didn't realize I had that big of a crack on the other side. But all right, so I'm going to continue working on this, and I'll get this more together. I'll come back. Mark with Ultimate RC. All right, so I think I've got this glued back together. I'm probably going to reinforce some of this with some Scotch tape. It's what I've done last time to help. Of course, the tape itself is very light, so not adding a lot of weight to the plane overall. And my biggest worry, honestly, is going to be these pontoons and trying to keep this glued. I've had to make the repair on this one a while back before, and I actually got some packing tape holding that down and re-glue that in there. But that packing tape is a lot heavier. I really don't want to put a bunch of that stuff on this plane. It'll make it fly a lot worse. Well, we'll see. So I guess what I'm going to do is let this thing sit, and then I'm hoping this evening that I get some light winds. Worst case scenario, it sounds like tomorrow morning is going to be a carbon copy of this morning, and then hopefully I can remaiden this and bring it back to life. see if we can save it. Again, I never like working on these things. I can do it, and it's not hard to do. You just got to have the time and the patience to deal with it. Someday when I'm retired, I'll probably be tinkering all the time on this stuff, but I think anybody would rather be flying. There's probably a few people out there that enjoy working on these planes and modifying them and doing things to them just as much maybe as they do flying, but I think that's the minority. It's certainly not me, but just goes to show that the average person can repair these. You don't have to throw these in the trash. They keep getting more and more expensive. I bought a lot of planes right before the big price increases, and some, including like the Twin Otter. I've had that plane for over a year, and picked that plane up for, I think I got it on with some discounts. I got it to like at $230 or something like that, and I don't know, I think that plane's like a $300 plane right now. In fact, I don't even know if it's in stock on Horizon's website. But yeah, so you can fix these things. At some point, there's a point of no return. I've got an Aero Scout, again, one of my first planes. The thing's probably been crashed into the ground at least a half a dozen times. The nose wheel is literally held on with, the whole end of it, the front end of it is held on with glue and tape as far as the nose. The plane doesn't fly nearly as well as it used to anymore. But it still flies. And I've got a light kit modded on it and everything else, so sometimes I'll take that up late in the evening when light conditions are getting pretty low, and it's one of the few planes that I can fly that's got lights all over it. It's got a kit I bought on either Amazon or eBay for like 16 bucks, and there's lights kind of like this one where you have the hazard lights, the anti-beak or the anti-crash lights up top, and the strobes, and the navigation lights on either side. I even have a tail light on the Aero Scout for an anti-beacon. So that plane is really, I can fly it in almost, in fact, I've flown in completely dark conditions. I do it solely in safe because you can still lose orientation, but this plane's pretty cool. Look at it in the evening too when I fly it over the bay and with the lights going and everything. So maybe I'll be able to do one of those this evening if I can get this glue to hold. But we'll see. All right, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we've got more updates on this one. All right, folks. So I've got the UMX Turbo Timber. We've got it repaired. It's all glued. It's sat for a day. Winds are similar to yesterday. Breeze just picked up a little bit, but I think we're still good to go. I got everything glued back together. A little tape on there as well to hold it. I made an adjustment to one of the ailerons, so now that it's flat. And we'll see if we're good to go after our crash into the rocks here at the lake. And the biggest challenge with this plane is going to be, has limited control in the water, so you got to point it into the wind. Think about going that way. That's going to be too hard to do with filming and such. We'll see if maybe I'm going to go right under the dock again like I did yesterday. If it all goes well, I'm hoping to get a night flight in this evening. All right. Here we go.
Throttle cut.
And we're flying. Okay, seems to be doing pretty well.
Safe mode. Time remaining 4 minutes.
Of course, now I'm nervous about getting too close to these trees like I did yesterday. It seems to be doing well.
Throttle cut. Safe mode.
Once again, I think I need to get some new batteries for this because it doesn't. You should get about a 5-minute flight time out of this. Already getting the
Throttle cut.
pulsing that you get with these UMXs.
Throttle cut.
We'll see if we
Remaining 3 minutes.
do some touch and goes here.
Takeoff flaps. Throttle cut.
See if we can do that a little bit closer to the dock here. Be a little bit of a crosswind. We got about a northeast wind. I'm facing east this morning here.
Throttle cut.
Seems to be doing pretty well though.
Flaps up. Throttle cut. Throttle cut. Throttle cut. Safe mode. Time remaining 2 minutes.
Alright, I'm gonna try and
Throttle cut.
with the wind this time, landing. So I'm gonna have to bring it in close to the dock here when I do retrieve it.
Throttle cut. Throttle cut.
The wind just pushes it right around.
Safe mode. Throttle cut. Throttle cut. Throttle cut.
More pulsing now. Alright, we'll bring it in.
Takeoff flaps.
Alright. Not bad. I went a little long. Let's see if I can turn around here. Oh, not going to let me do that. We'll go back up again.
Throttle cut. Time remaining 1 minute. Throttle cut.
There we go. Alright. Grab this. There you have it. Alright, my repairs worked. Put the flaps up. Flew pretty well. And we'll see if we can get a night flight in with it here this evening. We'll see what happens with the winds. Last night didn't calm down quite as much, so, but at any rate, there it is. Eflite UMX Turbo Timber after repair. Thanks again for watching, YouTube. Like and subscribe to Ultimate RC.